Welcome to Websites for Beginners. This is Zion Reconstructed or Zion Builder Reconstructed, and we're not in the matrix at the moment. We are looking at one of the latest site builders for WordPress. In this reconstructed video, we're going to do the familiar Euro section that we're doing all the first episodes with in the different series. We'll start with this dark version that gives us a main heading, an upper heading, and then a button. And then we go for a light version with a border. And after that, we'll bring in an image with a little bit of an overlay. And what you see here has all been done within the Zion Builder, so it is possible. And I'm saying that chuckling at the same time because you're going to hear a little bit of criticism here and there on Zion Builder. And then I'm also going to tell you this is an amazing builder. Now it's really a major package, and you're going to see that if you are interested in a full force with everything that you need from WordPress to blogging to repeaters, the works, then Zion Builder already has it all. As we work though, there are a few recommendations that I hope the developers will take notice of as I call them out. These are not deal breakers, but they are truly things that will make the building experience just so much better. And I think then for where it currently is, the Zion Builder is in the game to play. Important though is with a lot of these new guys, and that is the pricing systems. You will see there's discounts of up to 40% and 1,000 limited licenses for early adopters. You can go have a look, follow the link in the description below. And I see one license has dropped since very recently. Maybe that's the one I bought, not sure. Grab your cup of coffee or your tea or your liking, and let's kick into what Zion can do. And, we may run into a few hiccups up here and there. I may screw it up a little bit because I'm actually still very unfamiliar with this builder. But we're going to tackle the basics for our hero block. Just a few call-outs. I'm using this developer app called Sizzy, and if you want to know more about Sizzy, you can just follow the link in the description below. It's a great reference tool if you want to see how your website will look on various displays like tablets and mobile devices. Also, I'm running it on a local host by a company called Flywheel, and this used to be called Local by Flywheel, and I'm just using, now it's just called Local, and I'm using this one here. So let me just clean up here first, close this one so we don't get confused. And then I'm going to say, let's run Zion. Iron like a lion in Zion. Welcome WordPress. I've already got Zion Builder installed, and you will see that there are two versions of Zion. Now where am I? Going to plugins, install plugins. You have a free version that's got an abundance of features, and then Zion Builder Pro, which are those licenses I just showed you. Let's go to Pages, add a new page, and we will call this Recon 1. Close this out. Recon 01. Publish, and then uncheck and publish again. And then let's hop into Edit with Zion Builder up here. Takes us into the Zion Builder. In this tutorial, of course, I'm not going to show you everything like header builders and all the features. We're looking purely at building it out and how it works. And we get greeted by a getting started screen with some help. Thank you very much. That wasn't that helpful though. Now, before we continue with any building, Zion acts, I don't know how to describe it. You're going to run into things. You're going to think, this is Elementor. And then you say, wow, this looks like Divi. Oh, this is Oxygen. You really get a feeling of a lot going on within Zion, and you're going to get these flashbacks to other builders that you have used. And on the face, Zion may look very simple, but the more you work with it, you're going to find out this can bring you a lot of power and control within this builder. So I would recommend, if you have the time, go and get the free version, install it, and try it out a little bit. And then if you think there's value in it, I would recommend, remember lifetime licenses, once they are gone, and the prices go up. Ask everyone who bought oxygen at $99 2-3 years ago. They're smiling all the way to the bank at this moment. Now, the first thing we get here is we get the theme display, and I'm using Bloxy theme at the moment. Normally, you will build out the theme with the Zion Builder, but I haven't done that yet. So my Bloxy theme is displaying here. I've got the header at the top, I've got the footer at the bottom, and then I've got a page title. Similar to Elementor, you have a canvas decision to make. And here on the sidebar on the left, you go to here where the sliders are. If you click on that, it's going to give you these 3 panels, page options. This is the one we're looking for. And I remember over here, page layout by default, and default is going to give you your theme page layout. But we're going to grab this Zion Builder blank canvas, and that's going to give us the blank canvas. Super. To close this panel, you actually have to click on it. If you click outside, nothing happens. That would have been nice, but you have to close out like so. To start building out your page, it all begins with this plus up here. There's nowhere else on this page. There are no elements. None of these can take you into where you can find a container or an element. It all starts here on this page. And as you click on the plus, it's going to give you this dialog box with pre-made layouts, which are great to start with. Elements over here that include all your containers as well as your content elements. And then when you've got WooCommerce and blogging, all of these will be in here, as well as a library that will give you everything if you want something pre-made. The strange thing though is the moment you click on library, it exits that dialog box and I cannot go back to selecting a layout. So I actually have to close this one out and go back. And you're going to notice a little bit of a criticism in my voice now and again when I mention those kind of things, because I've got 3 tabs here. My expectation is that when I click on this tab, I will be able to click back on the other 2, but I cannot. And it's just a small little bit of criticism. Like I said, it's not the end of the world, but it's just when it comes to user experience, this is where I have a few tick marks that can be improved, because I can click on elements, I can go back to layouts. My expectation is once I click on library and I'm not happy there, I want to go back to elements, I should be able to go back. So tick there. Now let's start with a layout so I can show you what is what here. Click on this one and then let's see what we get. And immediately it gives me the elements to add. But for now, I don't want to add elements. I want to show you what has happened after I had clicked on this layout over here. And to view that, click outside here to close that box and then hover with the cursor here at the top. And you see 2 containers. You see a blue one and then you see a yellow one. And the blue one will be your section, and I think then the yellow one will be your row. We'll soon look at the naming system. Here is my second tick. If I hover outside here, I have absolutely no clue that there's anything on this page. There's not a frame. There is nothing. It can be a little bit confusing. The first time I actually added this layout and it dropped to elements, I thought nothing had happened. And this was just a little bit off-putting that I just didn't have a visual cue at all that something was going on my page. I've looked in the settings. There's no way to turn on that as well. This is just how it works. Something I'm very visual. I love wireframes and I love indicators and tips. So this threw me off a little bit, like, whoa, where is everything? So just my personal preference, but I would have liked just something to indicate that there is some content on the page. Well, it's not really content. So far, it's just divs and sections. But what Zion has done is they have given us the opportunity to view this. But for that, you have to go here all the way to the sidebar. And then here, we do have a structure view. So if I click on it, it gives me 3 views. The first one is the tree view. And this is structure if you are used to bricks or oxygen. And then as I look at this one, I've got a section. I can unfold it and it gives me columns. So what do I have then? I've got this blue section. And I've got this yellow column, just one column. Then I have a section view, which is only for sections. This is useful if you want to drag your sections around, I guess. And then wireframe which gives you that back-end kind of feeling, especially again when we think in terms of Divi or even Themify, they give us this wireframe. Again, you have then the option here to jump back between these guys. Now, again, I would have just loved. You see, the moment I move the cursor off the page, they disappear. I would have just loved them to stay there, somehow highlighted so I can see where they are. Right. So with this one that we want to build out, we are going to bring in a background color. So let's do this hands-on. To select the section, you double click on it. If I just click on it, nothing is going to happen. It's going to select it here. But to bring up the editor, you have to double click on it. That works, and then sometimes it gets a little bit difficult, especially when you're working with text elements. For that, you can go to the options little toolbox here, open section toolbox, click on it, and it gives you this slide out toolbar, and all the way to the left is the edit. The third way is to right click, and then you select edit. So that thing I told you at the beginning, you're going to get a feeling like, hey, this is like Elementor. Oh, that is like Brizzy. Oh, this is like, so I'm not saying these guys copy it, but hey, I'm a copier as well. That's how we get ahead in life. So let's actually start editing it now. And I'm going to do that by double clicking on the blue container. And it's going to open this edit panel for me. Let's close this tree view panel. Here's another tick. There's no way for me to open this without those three ways I just shown you. If there was a little button here that could open the edit panel, I would have appreciated that. Then I can just simply click on this one and it will give me all these edit functions. That's how it works at this moment. 3 tabs here, and in most cases it's going to be the same. You're going to get a very familiar feeling again. These are all your general layout settings. Then you have styling over here. We'll talk again about this one soon. And then advanced. General, just a quick look here. It's going to behave very similar, again, like I've mentioned to you, like builders like Elementor and Divi. But the moment you go down, you're going to see flex elements. If you don't know what flex is, don't worry about it. We will go through some of these features in the Reconstructed series. But you're going to get the feeling, wait a minute, we're working maybe here with the flex box. That's what I'm saying. Under the hood, Design Builder is extremely powerful. Up here, your inner content width to boxed or full size. And then, like I said, the styling. Styling brings also another feature for people with a lot of control freaks. You have the wrapper, which is the blue one, and then inner content. Now, this can be a little bit confusing. And in most cases, you're going to find just one here to select from. But this is one extra click, which I'm not always too fond of. But like I said, it will give you extra control. Something we'll also look at in a later video. To enter there, select it, and we go into all the settings. And now you're going to see something very familiar again. Your selector over here with a class, going to feel reminiscent of Oxygen. Over here, you have your states, and then you have all your styling options down here. Right, so let's just do this again so you can get your head around it. Close this element settings. Let's go to the container, hover over the blue, double click, it opens it, and it will tell you where. Up here, section column. As you hover over it, you're going to see a tree view as well, section and column. And as I hover over these two, you will see that blue box on the canvas changing as I hover over them. If I want to select the column, I click here and it gives me the column, all the settings. And if I then click on section, it gives me the section. So you can also toggle between these guys. Pretty nice. I think I like this one. Good. So let's change the background color, styling, the wrapper, and then background. And don't you get that Divi feeling? Right, select background color. We have color here, gradient, image, and then video. And guys, another check here. It would be good for your tool tips. This one to say color, gradient, image, and video. All 4 of them says background. It does say background here at the top. Right, select background. And we have our color editor over here. Like usual, you can drag it around the selector to give you the color. Change the color here, which is hue. And then your opacity slider is here to reduce it to 0 opacity, full transparency. And then you can add the color code, your hex hexadecimal number in here. If you want to work in RGB, select here. Oh, this is HLA plus the A for transparency. And then RGB, the A is also for transparency. You will see if you put it, as you slide this one, you will see your transparency is affected by the A. I mostly use our hex. And this color is 36, 36, 36. That gives me this one over here. Great. Some features over here. At this point, I want to call out something that I'm not sure if it was just my imagination or I did a few things wrong, but I recommend that you save regularly while you are working within Zion Builder. At this moment to save, then you will see this little check mark at the bottom. Note, I'm only hovering over it. As I hover over it, I get save template, save page, and save and publish. But if you just want to do a quick save, all you need to do is just click on the check mark. No need to select any of these. And you will see this green success button. This page was successfully saved. Of course, your shortcut key is Control-S, Command-S. And you see it there again. This page was successfully saved and published. Awesome. So we've locked that in. Now let's apply padding. Padding is nicely done on the page canvas. Let's close this one here and then hover over our, what do you call this again, our container, our section, and go to the bottom, and you will see that light blue bar appear, which indicates the padding. Click and hold with your mouse on the area and drag down. And as you do it, you will see we can increase the padding at the bottom with a heads-up display that gives us the indication of the pixels. Now here I want to give Zion a complete thumbs up 5 times. They did something that's amazing. Look, I'm currently set at 270 pixels. Hold Shift on your keyboard while you are dragging. And now you're going to see it's going to do it in increments of 5 pixels. Glorious. I just think glorious. You know, this just gives me the rounded off feeling I need in my life, and I don't have to worry about that 3 pixels. It just does it incrementally in 5 pixels. Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to let go of the Shift on my keyboard, and next I'm going to hold Control on Windows, and you're going to hold Command on a Mac. And the moment you do that, you will be linking the opposite sides. Currently I'm at the bottom, hold Control, and as I drag, you will see the top will also apply the same padding. Let's see if I hold Control and Shift. Yep, there we go, incrementally great. So let's go and add around 100 pixels at the top and the bottom, and I let go. That was pretty nice. If you, of course, need full control over that, we go to the settings, edit element, that will be under styling. And now I want you to observe the little green dot, something very similar that you're going to get in bricks. That green is an indicator that you've made changes to the default state. If you want to clear out all of them, you simply click here on discard changes. No, I don't want to do that. Let's go in. And then why did that happen? Interesting. How did it undock? I didn't know it could do that. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm learning as well. Somehow it undocked. I don't know how I achieved that. But here we have the green dots for the background as well for the size and spacing. If I click here, we can see padding has been added with the green dot, 100 pixels at the top, 100 pixels at the bottom. You have this link feature here that will link all 4 sides. I recommend also to give a link feature here for the top and bottom and a link feature here for the right and the left. That will be super cool. I'm very curious now, how did this thing dock? No idea. Let's close up. Now we've set up this section, and let's go to the column. Within the column, we're going to bring in our upper heading. Click here on the yellow plus, which will give us access, and we can bring in elements. You can add other containers inside of that. We don't need it. And I'm going to search for a heading, as I know there is a heading element in here. Scroll down, and a strange thing happens here, which I have no idea what. I guess it's a glitch. I search heading, I go text, text, and I'll see heading. And if I continue scrolling, I see heading, heading, text, heading. Strangeness galore. I'm just going to stick with the first heading. Right. Click on that, and there is text there. You barely can see it. Here is where the double click feature of opening the settings for the element falls out of the bus. If I click here, okay, it's going to give me the option to select the text. And you will see I have that toolbar that appears at the top, and now it's gone. If I select, it's gone. So that didn't work. If I double click, it selects the text, triple click. I still don't have my settings for my toolbar or my sidebar open. To do that, try here on the right. That didn't work. I did find the double click works when you go here onto the border of the element and you double click, and now it will open like so. Alternatively, remember the other two ways. You can right click and select edit, or you simply go to this little bubble up here, open heading toolbox, and you select edit element from here. More than one way to skin a cat. Super duper. We don't need to select the text. We are now here. You see sample text over here. I can type on the page, or I can type over here. I'll type in lorem ipsum. And let's see what we've got here. I can change these here. I'm not going to do that because you will see that even though it says here heading 1 and heading 2, that my HTML tag appears down here. And I'm going to put this on the H3. And we're going to center align it. There we go. Going over to styling, select my wrapper, and we can see already changes made to it. And the changes is the typography. Select the typography, and that is the change that we had made. We've aligned it. Here comes a very strange thing about Zion Builder. They do have their reasons, but it's going to catch you off guard. We want to use a font called Poppins. And if I click here on element font, you will see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fonts by default. And you will be inclined to type in here and look for Poppins, and nothing will happen. You actually need to go and load it, but from the dashboard area. So let's close this one. Go here to the bottom, click on Save, Control Command S, and then go to the eye here and back to the WP dashboard. It will open a new tab. Here is where I think something's still not 100% correct. Once you open this new tab, I recommend go close this tab. Just close it, because I did work here. I went back to that tab and then I saved everything. I came back and my work wasn't there. So like I said, could be me. I still need to play a lot more around with it. But at this moment, just to be on the safe side, do not open multiple tabs and go back and forth, especially between the WordPress settings and then the page you are building. Click on the W, and now we go to Zion Builder, and over here on the left, you will see font options. This is where we have to go. Google Fonts, click on it, and it says no Google Fonts added. Yes, you have to actually come into the Zion Builder dashboard and add those fonts here. Click on Add Font. Then I'm going to search for Poppins. And here we go. Select Poppins, go in. And you will feel highly satisfied you've got Poppins. Before I show you the trick, let me actually show you what I'm talking about. Pages. And let's click here on Edit with Zion Builder, our Recon 01. Right click, edit the text element, styling, wrapper, typography, and now font family, I choose Poppins. Great, everything looks good. First, let's change the color. Who can see that? Click here on no color chosen. We get this one again. I'm just going to drag it all the way up here until it's white. Good. Now, I want to put this Poppins on a thicker weight. Let's say around 700. Look what happens to the font on screen when I put it on 700. Absolutely nothing. And then if I say a lighter one, like 100, it just changes a little bit. And I know for a fact that Poppins at 100 is as skinny as a rake. So what's going on here? What's going on, let's discard this, put it back default, is that when you download Poppins from Google, you actually need to also instruct it which font weights to download. Let's save this, Control S, Command S, and let's see about Zion Builder dashboard. Let's click, this time it will take us to the Zion Builder dashboard. Close this one. Font options. And now here where you see regular, click on it. Right. But remember what I told you? Here's another check. Where is my 100? So I can select 200, 300, 500, because I'm not going to use italics, 7, 8, and 9. But I want my 100 because I know there's a 100. Why is it not there? Click outside here and you will see it's all there. I didn't give up. I persevered and I found out how to do this. This is all about sizing of the window, space in the window. So I'll delete this one. Yes, delete the font. I'm going to add some random fonts I'll show you why I'm doing this. And now I'm going to add pop-ins again. Because I added those 3, I have more space at the top. So when I click now on it, you can see my 100 there. I want to go back to what I said at the beginning. Everything works. There's just a lot of ironing out which needs to happen now. And I think because Zion Builder has got all the goodies you need, even pop-up builders, all the stuff, they don't need to bring in new features at this moment. I think they should spend 3 to 6 months to just iron out all these little hicks that we will run into today. And then it will be a very, very nice and convenient page builder to use. Great. Go to pages. Actually, it's a site builder, right? And we say again, edit with Zion Builder. I'm going to double click here. Styling, wrapper, typography, pop-ins. And this time, if I put it on 600, hey, come on. 300, there we go. So 600. It's here 900. You can see it makes a huge difference. I'll put it on 600. Right, so we've got that there. Font size, I'm going to put that on 20 pixels. And you can also just click in here and drag up with your cursor and down. Let's do the shift trick again. Shift. It also works here. Nice, Zion. Kudos. Line height, of course it says pixels. That shouldn't be pixels. It should be EMM. This is what we use for line height. And I will put that at 1 because I don't need it for this one. Letter spacing, yes, we do pixels, so I'll put it for 1 pixel. And then over here, I want to capitalize, uppercase them. This is capitalized, this is uppercase. There we go. And look at that. Ta-da! Very nicely done. A few little tricks I showed you there, but what I love are these little green dots that show me you've made changes here, you can reset. I wish many of the older builders will also just bring in these features. This is so nice to have when you're working with it and you're looking for stuff. Really, really great. I like this. Good. Next, we want to bring in our main heading under this one. And again, now we can just go here and under this one, click on the blue dot. This is very, very familiar if you're a Divi user. This is how you bring in your modules. Here it's elements. And I can bring in another heading. Or I can just go, right-click on this one and click on duplicate. And now I have 2. So I don't have to go through the setup process again. Let's make sure this one is selected. And this is the problem. I don't even know if it's selected. It isn't, you see, typical. And I'm going to bring in lorem ipsum text here with my lorem ipsum generator. Well, not mine. It's called loremipsum.io. Lorem ipsum. Die beertjie poot. Let's generate, even though I'm not going to use all this text, but just to get something different. What tickles my fancy? Let's grab these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, copy them, go back. Let's paste it here. And then let's see, we're going to make this H2 just to show you where those are. And then we go to styling, wrapper, typography, and we're going to put this on a thicker font like 800. Font color stays the same, font pixels 40. And then the M height, because I'm going to break this into 2 lines, I will put in an M value of 1.2. And then the letter spacing, I will reduce that to 0. I just drag that. And now we're done. We do want to bring in padding. And I'm going to do the padding on the page because we can do that by just clicking here on the left side of the container of the text element. Click. Oh, where is it? Click and drag. Next, hold Control on your keyboard, Command on a Mac to link both sides. And I'll keep dragging it until I have that desired effect. And I'll just put in a shift there to keep it at 300 pixels nicely. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's like a kid with a new toy. Under this, we'll put a button. Let's go here onto the page, click on this one, elements, and look for button. And here we go for the button. And the button drops down here. If I double click here, you will see it gives me the button. And let's just have a look again here at this tree view. So we have the section, and then we have the column, and the button is within the column. If I select the column, it's going to give me the heading, and the button section. It's going to give me all of that. Very nicely done. Let's also have a look then again at this layout view. So currently the tree view will look like this, with the heading, and the button. Our section view will just be one section, and the wireframe divi. There we go. Close this tree view, close that out, and we go back here. You can type here. I'm going to type it in here, view more. We don't add an icon. Let's add a link, https://w4b.io. And we want it to open in a new window. And you have button types here. This is all with the presets you can work with in Zion for another day. Button shape normal, semi-rounded, and rounded. We have it on normal because I love sharp corners. If I work in a pharmacy, I'll give you rounded. Nah, of course not. Full width, I like it when there's a feature like this. I don't need to hunt for it. And then icon position, button position. Let's put button first in the middle. And now we're done with the layout. Styling then next. And you see here, things get a little bit complicated if you are not familiar with this kind of thing. You have the wrapper, the button styles, and the icon styles. Control freaks, you're going to love this. So exactly what's going on here. When I hover over the button, this is the button. But the container of the button is this light blue teal border. And that is your wrapper. So if you want to affect the wrapper, you're going to dig in here. We don't need that. We just want to change the button. So we have to click on button styles. If we had an icon, we would also click on the icon. So you can style the icon completely independent from the rest of the button. Button styles then, and we change the background. Select background color, and we're going to type in here hash 363636. No, we're going to make it white. Of course, white, it's the text that we want to change. Click back. And then typography, font family, Poppins, and here's Poppins. Oh yeah, I added those others as well, which I don't want. Let's change the color first. 36. That looks good. Font weight, I'm going to put it on 300. Font size, 16. Line height, let's leave that. Letter spacing, I'll put it at 2. And then I'm going to put it in uppercase. Let's reduce the letter spacing to 1. 1. Good. To add a little bit of padding on the left and the right, I'll do that. Let's see if I can do it within the container. No. I can do that within the wrapper, but I don't want the wrapper. I want the button to have padding. So that I cannot do on canvas. So let's go back. We look for size and spacing. And then for the padding, I'm going to put here around 35. Oh, that's at the top. Let's reset it. Go here to the right, 35, and to the left, 35. Brilliant. Let's talk a little bit about hover state. Click back. I want to bring in a background hover effect. So what I need to do from here, because once I click on background, the hover state option disappears. Wish maybe that could have been here at the top. No idea why it sits here. Could be a reason for it. But remember, from here, under default, we're going to select hover. All the dots will appear because the dots will only show you what you have changed within the hover state. And I go to background. I select the color again, which is going to be white. And then click again on it, drag the opacity down to around 80%. And if you don't know where that is, just go to RGB, and over here, you can bring it up to 0.8. Then you know it's at 80% opacity or 20%. If I hover over it now, let's click out of here, you will see it moves down and it does that. Let's see if it really does that, and let's see how preview works. Shortcut key for saving, Control S, Command S. And then for preview, let's see where we find that here. View post. Click on that, and there we have it. And the hover effect works also nicely. Let's close it. And then there's an internal preview, which is Control P. And look at what happens to my sidebar here on the left. Control P, it goes away. And now I have also control here to choose my responsive displays, tablet, cell phone. Okay, we're going to fix that now. And then over here, it goes back to our normal view. So remember that shortcut, Command P, Control P. Very useful. Add some spacer. I don't think there is a spacer no, there's a separator, which you can do the same, but no need. So what I'll do, I'll go to the button and then hover outside until I see a little border appear and then drag it. And I'm going to add 75 pixels here. Super hotkey, shift, hold it until I get to 75 increments of 5. I truly, truly love that. Control Command S. Let's explore responsiveness to see how Zion Builder is going to allow us to do things on tablets and on mobile devices. Here I think is a cue again from Brizzy. If we go to the sidebar on the left, you will see this little monitor here with desktop, laptop, tablet, and mobile. I can cycle through them, tablet, and then mobile. And there's a few changes that we need to make. I would have liked to have a shortcut. I don't know where there's a shortcut. Control B, is it? No, it's not this one. Something like that. I thought there's a shortcut, key shortcuts. No, this one didn't have cycle through the different values. That would be super nice. And I do remember I saw on their website suggestions for shortcut keys. Definitely one I would recommend is to cycle through the responsive views. Desktop we are happy with, so we go to laptop. The only thing I'm going to change on laptop is this spacing here for the padding on the left and the right. So I'm going to do it on the page. Hover there, and then I'm going to hold Control and Shift so that I can affect both sides and do it in increments of 5. There we go, 235. Let's just go back to desktop to make sure. Still right on desktop, laptop, tablet. And tablet, I think I'm going to keep it the same. Let's do the same. Click, drag, Control, Shift. Right on. And then mobile. But for mobile, good measure. Whoa, the moment you see this in mobile, you just know that this is way, way, way too much space here from the left to the right. So we will really have to think in terms of how we're going to do this. First thing is I'll have to change our font size. Go into styling, wrapper, and then typography. You will see there are no green dots here because we didn't change anything within this display responsiveness, which is mobile. And I'll put my font size here to 20. And also the font weight. I'm not sure the font weight could do it, but if it's here, I hope it can be done. We'll see if it can be done. No, let's keep that at 400. I'm playing around now here. Let's try the top one and edit, styling. There's a green dot, strange. And then font weight, I'm going to put that on 100 just to see how that works. And then let's put the font size on 14. Okay, and then I will go to the page and I will increase this one to around 135 and this one almost all the way to 200 pixels. There we go. Save it. Save and publish. And let's see, view post. Okay, so I'm going to grab my URL up here. Control Command C. I'll go to Sissy. This is the one I made previously in my demo. Let's paste the new one. Good. So desktop here looks pretty nice. MacBook Air, we cannot complain. And here you can see the canvas width that I was complaining about for these devices are way too wide. But what we'll do, and we'll close this one, go back to the builder, we need to reduce all of this padding here while we are within this mobile view. So I'll hold Control and drag it all the way to 0 because we don't need all of that. Control Command S. Let's see if it's been locked in. Looks much better. And now we can bring in a little bit more padding. I'll mention this in all of these tutorials. This is just a reality that you need to go and do these checks. I think like Divi has an awesome feature now. When you do the mobile check, you can actually select the phone, which phone you want to view within the builder. And I hope other guys, you can also take some cues from that, learn from each other. We don't mind, steal from each other. We don't mind. It's to our benefit, right? So we'll add a little bit padding back here. I'll hold Control and Shift, and let's do it until we have one break. So it's only one word there that breaks, but you're going to see when we get back here, it's going to be maybe 2 lines, even 3. Yep, it's 3 again. Go back. Let's bring it down to 45. Okay, 60. And let's test that. It looks pretty good on iPhone 12, and we cannot complain about a Galaxy S20. And then for the tablet, shall we do a little bit for the tablet as well? Look here for tablet. We see the green dots even here to show us we've made changes. Love it. Good idea, guys. Run with it. Let's reduce this as well. One more character word out. Save and publish. And update. And this is what I remember. For some reason, the iPad and this tablet here, these two don't respond. Let's reduce everything. Take it away. And let's see. I think no. No. So definitely something Zion. Guys, you have to build a little bit on your iPad and your tablet displays because it's definitely not working for me at this moment. Have a look at that. Not sure why it does that. We can also check it within our, which is this, I'm using Microsoft Edge, Design Builder View Post. And let's hit F12 on our keyboard to do it from here. And I select it and I put it on iPad. You see iPad, no. But iPad Pro seems to work. Okay, so it uses a bigger resolution for the width here. Okay, but I would say no, needs a little bit work here because it looks strange here. It doesn't really affect how it displays on my tablets. Let's jump back to desktop. Let's close this one out. And next, we're going to duplicate this entire section. And I guess there's a few ways you can do that. We can go up here to section view, let's see. And we can duplicate it from here. It generates a thumbnail. Pretty nice. Let's duplicate it and give us a second one. If I click on it, it's going to generate another thumbnail for me. Come on. Seems no. Maybe later when it's in a better mood. I want to add space between these two sections because otherwise we're going to get confused. So with this section, I'll go up here until I see that little orange, yellow. Where is it now again? Just outside it. Come on. Click on this one. And there we go. Let's try it again. And drag it. And I'll bring in about 100 pixels. I keep in shift to bring it to 100 pixels. That just gives us this space so that we now can differentiate between these two. Control Command S to save my work. Let's select the text over here. Edit. Okay. Styling. That's the wrapper. Right click, edit. Okay. We're here now, styling, wrapper, typography. We change out the color only, which is going to be 36, 36, 36. And let's add this color. I'll click here and then add it. Okay, we've added it. And then do the same for this one. But instead now of going through that, I'll just go up here, column, and then select the second heading, which makes it easier for me not to get lost. Go into the wrapper, typography, font color, and I'll click here on the swatch that I had just added. Now I'll go up here, select section. I'm starting to get used to this. Not bad, actually. Tree view. What did I just do? Styling, wrapper. And then for the background, I can put it on white or I can just remove it. And now we have this. Click back and we'll bring in a border and shadows, shadow and bone. And the border is already selected over here, linking all the sides. So we'll bring in the color and I've saved this color. So I'll select that. Width, I'm going to put it at 25 pixels, and it is solid. And voila, there it is. Perfecto. Let's change the button as well. So I'm going to select the button up here. Okay, I have to say I'm getting used to it, and I'm starting to like it. Okay. Scroll down. Okay, there's not an outlined version here, so we're going to create our own. Go to styling, and then button styles. The background we can leave on white. So we want to create a border, same color, 2 pixels, and solid. There we go. Right. Let's save that, Control S, Command S. And to view it within Zion Builder as a preview, Control P, Command P, and it gives us this feature. Very nicely done. And again, you can cycle here. This will be a laptop, tablet, which of course we know this is how it looks here, but it doesn't translate to a device. And then on our mobile phone, which is way too wide, and we cannot even reduce it. Also, we need a little bit breakpoint control over this one. I'll search for that. Maybe it's somewhere in the settings. Control P to get out of it and go back into the builder. I just want to go have a look on Sissy and then refresh. And look here. I knew it was going to happen at some point. I'm not sure if you can see what I'm seeing, but my font isn't Poppins anymore. And you've been with me in this tutorial the whole time. So Zion guys, this is the second time this has now happened to me. What has happened here? Is Poppins here? Why there's no Poppins? Save it. And then we go to Zion Builder dashboard. We click on fonts and look at that. Yeah, I'm just going to close these guys. This is now the second time I can confirm this has happened before. It's happened here again. It just, poof, my fonts are gone. You saw me bring in these fonts. I'm not lying. So I'm going to do it again. Like I said, when it works, it works. When it doesn't work, well, it doesn't work. And then let's add Poppins again. Then we add our variants. You can just hear me sigh all around the world, right? And then I'm going to delete these guys. Don't keep them if you don't need them. I'm going to close the builder from here. Go back to Pages. Edit Zion Builder. There's an autosave. I hear you, but your autosave is not going to help me. Let's say Control Command S. Update. And there it's, yeah. Okay, we saved it. It's not the end of the world. We did save it, but who wants to do that? So this is a major tick. This goes to the top because if you were working with many types of fonts and you didn't pay attention, it still displayed Poppins within the builder, but on our front end, Poppins were no more. Mary has gone. Let's do one more, and this time we bring an image in the back. I'm being positive. Let's go again here to our layouts, and this time let's go to our tree view. Click here again and duplicate. It's going to give us a third one, but you remember the third one. Oh, it's the wrong one we duplicated. So let's undo. You can just delete it from here. Delete element. Let's go to the top one. That's the one we want to duplicate. So we have two of these. Section view. And now what I'll do is I'll click here and I'll drag it to the bottom. This is similar to what you're going to get in Brizy. So it's now at the bottom. And then I'll hover here and I'll bring in again 100 pixels just for background. Then let's go to the edit for this block, or not block, section. And then styling, wrapper, background. Let's remove the color. Click here, add new background gradient or select from library. Oops, no, here. That's where you want the image. No image selected. And we bring in this lady hiding behind the leaf. Brilliant. And let's see, it's on repeat. I don't think, and then initial background attachment. It says initial, I want to put it on, oh, initial is fine. Which one? Here, background size. That's where I want it to be on cover, not on auto, which it currently is. And then we are going to add an overlay. And here again, borrowed from or stolen from Divi. If I go and want to apply a solid overlay, you're not going to be able to do that. Select background. And I also want you to note, since that reset of my fonts, that color swatch I had saved here is also gone. So there's a second check. So I'll just type in 36, 36, 36. Good. And how do I apply this over here? It just doesn't apply. So if I go back to the image and you look here, you're not going to find anything. There's a blend mode, but we don't want to do that, right? That's definitely not what we want here. Ooh, that actually looks... Oh, let's see overlay. Oh, okay, but do we have... Right, we don't have control over how much. So back to normal. Zamaban. Go over here to background, which is your gradient, and add a new background. And if you've worked with Divi, you will immediately understand what's going on here. However, Zion allows you actually to add multiple gradients on top of each other. We're not going to care about that now. We want one solid color. And to achieve that, we're actually going to give our gradient the same color on both sides. So here is the gradient. Here are the colors. So I click here, and I'm going to type in 36, 36, 36. And I'll go to the one below that, and I'll type in 36, 36, 36. And now, is there any way we can reduce the transparency? The answer is not here, but you have to go into the color and from here, reduce the transparency. And as I'm doing that, I realize I do not want this color. I want black. Black is a better color for the background. So I'm just going to change both to them of black. And then I'm going to add or reduce it to 20%. So 0.2 there. And this one as well. Opacity, we value from 0 to 1. So if you see it like here, look over here. If you see it at 1, it means it's fully opaque. At 0, it's fully transparent. And at 0.2, it's 20% opaque and 80% transparent. I think we can actually... Okay, so you have to put both of them if you want to have it consistent. But you can actually take one of them and increase them a little bit. Not bad, right? And then from here, you can apply an angle. Can you see it move a little bit? Over there. I like a 135 angle. Let's add some margin at the bottom. So make sure our section is selected. Styling, go back, and then size and spacing. And margin at the bottom, I'm also going to add 100 pixels just to give us a little bit space so we can view it. Save our work. Go to Sizzy. Sizzle it up. And let's see the final result. Good. Ooh, I thought it's on center. So for the mobile device, it's not on center. Did I put it on center? Let's go have a look. Go back to the background. And where is our image over here? Oh, I didn't. Where background, horizontal. Oh, okay. Horizontal position and vertical position. Very familiar to when you've worked with Oxygen. I kind of like this control. For people who want something out of the box, like a center, left, center, top left, top right, that kind of control. You're not going to get it here. But you can put in everything here. And then after I'd played around with this, I saw there's a little dot here on the image. So this dot that you can drag on the image, again, reminiscent of Brizy, is going to give you the focal point where the image is going to focus. By default, if you don't drag it, it's going to place it, I think, on the right or the left, even though it's in the middle. So just go drag it, and let's save it again. Let's go to Sizzy, and let's see if we've had success. If we didn't, I'll show you the workaround for that. Nope, we've had success. Great. Brilliant. So I really want to give Zion Builder a full thumbs up, but you've seen the few things that I've highlighted along the way. All the functionality is there. That I can tell you. It's there. I really recommend, having worked with page builders where bugs don't get resolved, tackle them now, get it done, and you will get a huge following very soon. But for people like me who do these tutorials and work on stuff, I made a basic hero section. And when you run into these things on a basic section, we're not talking WooCommerce, we're not talking dynamic content. It just scares me to think what still could be in the works in terms of bug control. And that's why I would say just take these things, fix them. There are no new features you have to roll out at this moment. Get your product solid, get your product stable. I also want to say the following. You would have noticed, just like with the bricks builder we are doing in the Reconstructed series, this thing is fast. I have to give it that. It behaves quickly. It really responds well. Even on the front page, loads very quickly. Great job, guys, over at Zion Builder. Have a look, follow the link in the description below, and we hope to see great things coming for you guys. This is it then. See you in the next video from me, JP. Have a great day. Stay safe. Bye-bye now.